Hi, this is Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary. I hope you're very well. All I'm going to do here is have a quick look through a couple of the currencies, and that's going to be about it. Euro dollar, obviously, for the last few weeks now, came off those lows. In the grand scheme of things, obviously, it had a half decent rally into the 21 moving average here on the daily charts, and it's pulled back. But if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't look like it's doing too much. Here's my sort of call for this maybe the first 6 months of this year. What's going on in the US is very much priced in with a rate hike expected this year in the US, and so my call is actually that the euro, all of this price action in relation to the dollar is priced in which case there is the scope for a counter dollar rally. And although a lot of expectations are for the euro to carry on rolling over, my suspicion is that actually we could see a half decent rally during the first half of this year, even though overall I'm bearish on the euro dollar. So how would that come about? What we would need to see is a break of this high here, because then what that would say to us is that we're starting to make higher lows and higher highs. So a break of the last week's highs would be that confirmation. There's no point in trying to really do much with the euro unless it does break that high, because otherwise it could just roll over from here. So this is sort of a call that I'm making. If we break that high, I think that we have the scope. For a rally all the way to the weekly 21. Now, obviously, that weekly 21 is currently above 121, but obviously that's moving week by week, and so the call I'm talking about is something that could take a few months to play out. I think that at the moment, it wouldn't surprise me to see the euro dip back down and do some retesting down into this zone, and then we're just going to have to see how it's going to react. So I think it's something that could take quite a while to play out, but if we do break these highs, then I think we've got the scope for a good few hundred pips more to the upside if those highs were to get broken. Obviously it'll go up and down and chop around, but I think in the main that's something that we could see, and it'd be we could be looking back in June saying, blimey, the euro got to 118 or 119 or maybe even 120. So that's my sort of big call for this early part of this year. If we break those highs, then I do think we've got the scope to get into the 118 to 120 zone. I know the weekly 21's up at 121 at the moment, but obviously it takes such a long time that that 21 would be coming down. So that's why I'm targeting that 118 to 120 zone, which it doesn't make sense, but then logically most market moves don't make sense when markets turn and at the time. So what I'm talking about is a relief of this what is a bigger term, longer term rally in the dollar. If we go to the dollar index, then here's that beautiful trend in the dollar index, and so what I'm looking for is if we break so on the dollar index, it's if we break this low here. If we break that low, then I think we will have more downside in the dollar index. Overall, it's still in that trend, just like that euro dollar. The trend would remain intact, but just be looking for a bit more of a retracement. So that's how I'm seeing that euro dollar here this year, or in this early part of this year, provided we break that high. Not if we start coming down. If we start coming down, then it makes no difference. And the euro just starts sliding away from here, then it doesn't hurt. We have to get that price confirmation. So that's that one. Let's have a look at the pound dollar as well. Now the pound dollar obviously has been that much stronger, but at the moment the pound dollar's already had a really nice rally. It's satisfied a lot of targets in that you can see it's hit a daily 50 here, not on e-signal admittedly, but on the weekly chart it's hit my upper bands on the weekly charts. So and it has done that on e-signal as well. So I'd be quite happy to see the pound dollar come back down and retest these lower bands now. So for now, I think that this is the first time that the pounds had this rally into the upper bands on the weekly chart since we broke down all this time ago, and so it's not surprising, or I won't be surprised to see a reaction down from that. But having said that, after any chop and we pull back down maybe to 151, that sort of area, back into this whole price zone, that's when I'll start getting interested in and watching the pound to see if it finds support. And if it does find support, then I'd be looking to be a buyer on the pound. Now there's an easier ways of buying the pound. You don't have to go against the dollar. You could obviously buy the pound against the euro, i.e. short the euro. So once the euro pound here has a bit of a rally, then you could then look to short that. And there's other currencies as well, like one of the traders mentioned in the week, the pound yen. You could go long the pound yen. So there's other ways of playing the pound against other currencies that may be weaker than the dollar. But as I normally sorry, I'm drinking tea here this morning, but as I normally just look at the majors, like the pound dollar and the euro dollar, that's why I'm just looking at that. And I think I shall leave it at that for now. So just a little bit of food for thought there for this week. People often ask about the indices, and I think that at the moment the indices is not that clear. So if we look at, this is the S&P daily chart here, you can see that we're just sort of in a sideways range, so they're not that clear at the moment. Now, if we were to come back down and break these lows, then yes, I could see £1,000 drop coming from £1,000 drop coming from there. But we're not at that level, and so unless we were to break these lows on the S&P, then yes, maybe. But at the moment, we're just chopping around within this range. It's not really saying too much, and at the moment, we're at the top end of the range. So we could then want to just pull back within this range again. So at the moment, it's fairly choppy price action. I'm not having too much of a view on the stock market indices right now. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Right, I shall leave that with you, 7 minutes in, and be back on Friday for live trading.